Okay, so here we are again, phase 2. And let's have your guys' questions. Now anything goes. It doesn't have to be about chakra root cleanser. I hope you guys enjoyed that. You know, we speak so many times about individual oils and everything, and we want to do some education for the things that you guys already have that, you know, has so many possibilities and potentials, but, you know, without having a bunch of written information on all these blends. We thought we'd do some education, and, you know, eventually there's going to be a bunch of written information. It might come out in pieces. My writing schedule is very big.
So Tajal, we know you had some questions before. Go ahead.
Hey, Greg.
Hey, Tajal.
I have some questions like how many brainwave class and chakra class, brainwave with the chakra class, like how we are doing with the Ajna, throat chakra. So how many more you are going to take on this?
Well, the chakra classes are, there's 11 classes. Yeah. So I think we've done 1, 2, 3, 4. So there'll be 7 more.
7 more? Okay. And after the first brainwave and the vital centers, like my appetite has increased so much. So I don't know.
Your what?
Her appetite has increased.
Oh, your appetite has increased. Oh, that's interesting.
I'm eating a lot of food. I'm still hungry like after some time.
Maybe, do you have the brainwave kit?
Yeah.
Do the beta waves.
Beta
like
waves?
you're kind of strong in the delta waves, which is repair mode in the body. And so sometimes that repair mode is rest and repair, and it could also be rest, repair, and snack or eat.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it's like a pain syndromes, you know, a lot of times when there's chronic health issues that's impaired. And so if that brain wave gets really super stimulated, your body definitely goes into repair mode, but you know, it could increase your appetite. Okay. So try doing some beta waves.
Beta waves, okay. And then like last class with the throat chakra was so amazing. Like first time I have felt like when master says like feel the waves of love and joy.
Yeah, no joke.
It was so peaceful and spiritual. And after that class in the evening, I have got one spiritual project where I have to do the proofread of one ancient scripture book. So I'm really happy, and I want to do, while doing that proofreading, I want to learn the more inner teachings. So do you have any suggestion of the oils like which I should use?
Like when you're reading that?
Yeah, when I'm doing proofreading. Yeah.
You know that tuberose that's out of your last kit, the brainwave kit. Why don't you inhale the tuberose while you're studying?
Okay. And the third question is like I was going through the oils on the website. There is one MONARDA. So that is the same as monad, like a soul.
No, Monarda. It's a type of plant. Monarda is the strongest antiviral there is in the essential oil world. So it's used to treat viral conditions, you know, viruses.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is actual monad? It's a kind of soul when they said in the
Theosophical Society?
Yeah.
Monad, I believe, let's see, they say the personality, the ego. Monad is the divine spark.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the monad is referring to the divine spark.
That is soul, our.
Well, like you're talking about, like when from the Theosophical Society, they call the incarnated soul the personality, and they call the higher soul the ego, and then they call the divine spark the monad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like you have to kind of like when you're reading that information, you just have to do the kind of a little bit of a translation when you're reading.
Okay. And when you are going to teach the different ways of the eyes, like different style of, I don't remember exactly, you mentioned that in before 2 or 3 class, like a different way we can keep the eyes open or closed while doing meditation.
I don't remember different ways of working with our eyes.
Yeah, while doing meditation, like maybe sometimes it's up, sometimes it's half closed, sometimes it's fully closed.
Yeah, let me think about when I can work something like that in.
Okay, thank you.
You're so welcome.
And Heidi, your hand's raised.
Hey, Miss Heidi.
You're still muted.
Sorry. I meant to do my my unmute, and I hit my video. I don't want you to see me. I just want you to hear me. That was great. That chakra root cleanser. It was like a complete reset. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, I mean, like for the longest time, there's so many applications. You know, back when I was doing healings all the time and traveling, you know, I was having to manage contamination because I was doing like 14 to 15 healings a day, you know, 14 or 15 hours of healing. And then, you know, jumping on planes and going places, and I didn't always have time to clean up with a salt bath or whatever. And so what I started doing was mixing it with a little bit of alcohol, and I could just slap it on and it was like a salt bath. I mean, it just cleaned me up really good and kind of made my contamination, you know, practice of managing the contamination made me a little bit lazy because I was like, yeah, it's got the chakra root cleanser, you know, like, you know, I was like, yeah, I don't have to clean up that much. I can just spray myself down. And so there's so many things that can be done with that. And, you know, one of the things that we're trying to do is like take it through a bunch of the patterns so you can see how to use it in different applications that it wouldn't do just on its own, but when you direct it, it is something completely different. And so.
Well, I just came off of, you know, Tuesdays are a heavy day for me, 8 hours straight of meetings and clients. And I feel so tired by the time this class rolls around. And it's such a complete reset. So I'm very grateful. I love it.
I mean, that's the thing too, is like, even though you're not physically like, you know, putting your hands on people or doing energy work in a traditional sense, still you're doing energy work through the talk and the talk therapy and everything. And the thing that always happens with, you know, any type of counseling type kind of scenarios is you become a little bit of the garbage can that they expel on. Is they're, you know, releasing the things or talking about something that's uncomfortable. You know, part of the fatigue is you are managing contamination. And so, you know, I used to work with, you know, that group of psychologists, and it was back when I was in California. And, you know, some of them would be mentoring upcoming psychologists and things, you know, people who are going through the university or whatever. And, you know, I would have these little talks or classes that I would do with them. And a lot of times they would say, you know, some of the newer therapists that, you know, they might have an intense session or two with somebody and be on the couch for a couple of days. And they would just say it was just so fatiguing. And it's actually, it's contaminating. And so the contamination is very, very fatiguing. It can actually even cause you to heat up and get low-grade headaches and, heartburn. It causes all kinds of issues. And so, just having some sort of maintenance protocol that you do to try to minimize the contamination from talking with people who are doing very difficult, processing. And, and the thing is the contamination eventually can physicalize into your energy body. And so sometimes the emotional difficulties actually start to feel like your difficulties when really it's just contamination.
Well, that's really good to hear. And I have rue by my desk, but I think I'll keep chakra root cleanser by my desk. I just didn't think about it.
Yeah. Rue's good. Hyssop is good. Chakra root cleanser is good. Those are all for therapists. I mean, those are all super good for anybody doing any sort of therapy, be it massage, chiropractic, psychologists, psychiatrists, anything in that realm. And, this is a bit of an extreme situation, but one of the people in that group had gotten a contract with the county for treating, pedophiles. And they came to me, and to be honest with you, they did not like me. They didn't like that I wasn't a PhD and, yada, yada, yada. And when they actually were in crisis, they came to me because I was not one of the PhDs. I wasn't one of what they would call their peers. And, they had gotten this contract with treating the pedophiles for the county. And what started happening, they were starting to freak out because they said working with this particular population, they were starting to have feelings about children. And they were really freaked out by it. And, I talked to him about contamination, and I think his exact words were bullshit. He said to me, "That's a bunch of bullshit." I go, "Just humor me for a week. Just humor me. I mean, what do you have to lose? You're already having difficulties. Just humor me." And he came back and he said, "I still think you're bullshit, but I don't have those thoughts anymore."
Wow.
It was literally contamination causing them.
Wow.
And so, in that little realm, he thought that I was accurate. The rest, he thought I was BS, but in that little area, because I could produce that result. And really, it wasn't an issue to release. It was just, teaching them how to cut cords and manage cords and then take salt baths. That was it. It was not something super fancy or anything. It was really kind of a simple fix. But had he not done that, who knows what would have happened? It at least would have been conflicted all that time.
So thank you for that. And Greg, that's not actually why I raised my hand. I did want to say thank you so much, though, for that protocol. I do have a question about a family member, and I'm wondering if I could get your help with. One of my brothers, really, really intelligent man, went to Harvard and Yale, and just a really bright, capable person. He's 70, 72, something. He just has been recently diagnosed with ALS. And he's cramping. And my sister Robin could probably unmute and speak. She spoke to him, and so she has a little more. But he's been cramping. It's not a confirmed diagnosis. He's getting a second opinion. But I just wondered if there was anything that you could tell me or guide me.
Yeah. Like he is getting a second opinion, or is
he's getting a second opinion.
Yeah. And is he having respiratory distress yet, or is it just like the spastic, like the hands are tightening up? And
I think he's been having cramping. And again, Robin, if you want to unmute.
Hi, Greg. I don't know about the respiratory. He still takes afternoon walks. He can't play the piano. His fingers aren't working as well. He can't button his shirt so well.
What about his legs? What about his legs?
He goes into cramping. His body, all over his body, goes into excruciating cramping. He is getting a second opinion.
There could be a lot of things. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean ALS unless they've done a bunch of testing. I would keep examining that, but we can start treating that. But if it is ALS, you know, I've had times where we've been able to stop the progression of the condition. I could reverse some of the symptoms, but I couldn't stop the overall disease. And so if it's in the early stages, I would say, boy, let's just jump on that and try to make him as comfortable as possible. And, you know, there's things that can be done, but you know, the more it progresses, it's by far it gets harder and harder to treat. Like when there starts to be the respiratory distress, just getting them to be able to like lay down to sleep is like an issue.
Yeah, he's definitely not there yet.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we'll probably do it with both herbs and oils. And, you know, I might even have them work with a couple of the healers from Astara, and we'll have them do some constant work with them that I can kind of oversee.
Oh, that would be so great.
Know, yeah, we'll get that going, and we'll just try to keep them as comfortable as possible. But I'd say like keep me posted on the information that comes from the testing and things that they do, and if it's confirmed that it's, you know, ALS.
Great, thank you so much, Greg.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've treated that condition quite a bit. You know, it's one of those ones that just floats around a lot. So.
Okay, we'll keep you posted. Thank you. Yeah.
Is there a connection to the 11 vital centers with the 11 energy centers?
No, there's not. No.
When you were suggesting the beta oil for the person, would there be a pattern included?
Probably just inhale it with your awareness on the brain.
What is she referring to about the chakra classes, of which Greg has done 4 and there are 7 more? Greg is doing 11 brainwave and the chakra classes. And so he's going through from the crown all the way down to the basic using the 11 chakras. So he's taught the crown, the forehead, the ajna, and we did the throat last weekend. And he's going to go through 7 more chakras, which will be the heart, the solar plexus, the spleen, yin yang, basic,
sex and navel.
My fear from one family member is coming up. How can I let it go? The situation is after my parents passed away, everything happened as per legal will. After 3 years, my brother sent me a legal notice that it's all fraud, and my lawyer replied with all proofs. After that, not heard anything. Then he came back asking for forgiveness, but I'm not able to trust him anymore, and I don't want to keep the relation. I've forgiven him, but fear comes up with what he will do next. Sometimes when it's time for the mail to come in, I get fear. I've forgiven him, but the fear still comes up.
Is this the same one from before? Yeah, keep working that. I mean, it sounds like it's still a little bit active if you're concerned about that something's coming. But
so keep working what we did. Just
keep working what we did.
The chakrams or the main back, heart, and crown. Okay. And then
you could also do the pattern of the sex, heart, throat, crown as well, because that helps to reduce the reaction.
And still with the chakra root.
Yes, you still use the chakra root. Yeah. Try that for a couple of weeks, and you know, do it daily. You know, because something like that was pretty traumatizing, but you know, that might need some more involved work than just that. But let's see if this will treat it first.
For our Radic yoga, Is there karmic acceleration after getting a level? They're wondering if they should apply for a narcotic level. And it sounds like they want to.
Yeah, I mean, that's not part of what we do here, but I know what you're talking about. Yes, there is an acceleration, not always bad, like a couple for me were quite good. Like I had good accelerations, but it is an acceleration. It is, your energy body gets bigger and stronger very quickly, and old seeds are there, and there's a little bit of an acceleration. So.
And does that karma connect with my parents, me, and my family?
It's just your karma. No way to guess where it's going to come from. A lot of times you're not going to be aware of where it's coming from. Yeah. What level are we talking about? Going from what to what? Up to 1, 1 to 2?
1 to 2.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to pretend to give advice for what you should do, what you should not do, but if things are stable, you are going to be evaluated if you're ready for that. So, if you're not ready, they'll most likely will tell you.
Once you cut the cord with someone, is there a possibility that person could reattach a cord?
But either party could reattach it. Sometimes we have unconscious things that are wanting to reattach. And so, yeah, it can happen. That's why it's good to cut on a regular basis. Something might get triggered, something unconscious, hard to say what it is. And so if in doubt, use rue or St. John's wort to go through and cut the cord.
Can we use chakra root cleanser to cut the psychic cord?
Use rue or St. John's wort. Yeah.
They want you to check to see if the situation is over, with the fear, or if the brother is going to.
Well, it's hard to predict because things can change. It's not like it's set in stone. And so, I would move forward. I'd go through and clean up and just get to a little bit better place. There's no way to predict those kinds of things. I mean, people say they are, but I don't find it to be helpful or accurate a lot of times.
With the cord cutting with the rue or St. John's wort, is there any pattern that can work better to really?
Yeah, releasing cords, the lower, what is it? It's the navel, spleen, and then palms and soles of your feet. I think that's it. Letty actually probably knows back from the.
Is it the one from the psychic protection class? That pattern?
Yeah,
or...
it's that pattern. It's either the lower center pattern or that pattern. I'd have to go back and look, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's the lower. I'll post it.
It's the lower centers. The navel, sex, spleen, Mingmen, basic, soles of feet. Is it that one?
Let's see, she's gonna post it here.
Like navel, spleen, Mingmen, sex.
Yes, it's the lower chakra pattern, Greg. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
I'll post it. Yes.
Thank you, Letty. And by the way, Letty, you're a rock star.
So I'm not sure which class you want to register for. You can type it here in the chat if you want, or you can email me. But we do have recordings of all the previous classes. And okay, so the series is 11 separate classes. So it's not just one class, it is 11
Yeah,
classes.
if you wanted just the one class, that's kind of like an overview, is the sacred, what was it? The
Sacred Fire?
Sacred Fire.
Oh, okay.
It's not the same, but it kind of touches on all 11, doesn't it? I want to say it does.
It did the Kundalini.
Right, so it does. But the 11 centers, we're going deep on each weekend is one of the energy centers.
Okay, they did the Sacred Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this goes for anyone. I'm really excited about this. If you don't get the newsletter, we have almost every single previous class that's been on Zoom up on the website now. So I think we're missing 2 classes right now, but we'll be getting those up. And they are in the order of kind of how these classes are organized. And Greg has them in different divisions, and we do have them in those different divisions on the website in the classes area now. So, and they're in order. So if you go to the brainwave and chakras classes, we have them in the order of the chakras. So crown first, then the forehead, then the ajna,
And the
and the
throat.
throat will be
Yeah.
up soon.
Heart will be in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, imagination of the heart is the next one,
Mhm.
and that is the heart chakra. Yeah. What do they do?
Well, you're going through and doing the, if you do all 11, you're doing a very deep awakening of Kundalini. You're basically doing the pattern of the Lord's Prayer, where you're bringing in divine energy and then systematically working it through each one of the centers. So there's still built on each other as well. So there's a lot of different levels that are being handled here. But each class goes into the holy name of the center, the spirits associated with the holy name, the planetary influence, the archangel, the positive qualities that's associated with the energy center, and then the negative tendencies that we're to try to gain mastery over. So you're basically deeply cleansing the energy center, helping to regulate it, increase the aspect of God associated with that energy center, while cultivating the virtue of that energy center. So it's based on old alchemical and Kabbalistic principles. Yeah, each class is almost like a practice unto itself. After we're done with the 11, we're going to do some study groups where we do variations of the 11 as a practice also unto itself in a study group format. Kind of how like we're doing the vital centers and there's other applications. Once we kind of lay out the 11 centers the way that we're doing, we'll start doing some variations of those as well. Probably mostly in study groups though.
So can you explain what the heart class might have put up? Hopefully I have some things up on the website about it, but
Yeah, I think it's actually posted. We had the information out a while ago. No?
they're just asking you to describe what the translucent. Oh, I don't have the information for the translucent imagination of the heart yet. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry about that. We've been running a million miles an hour. We'll post that tonight. Yeah, sorry about that. We'll post that out tonight. So
Thanks for
yeah.
bringing it to my attention.
I almost, when I was leaving Boston, I almost went off with my shoulder bag that had my iPads, my wallet, my passport, and my phone. I was like, ugh. I'm doing too much too fast. Gotta slow down a little bit.
Anybody else? Any other questions? These are great. Logistical ones are always helpful too. Spiritual ones, whichever you want.
Yeah, anything goes. You can ask about anything.
Yeah, go ahead, Barbara.
Hey there. Thanks again for the weekend.
Hey, yeah, you bet. It's great to
Could
see
you-
you in person.
Sure was. Could you say a little bit more about the follow-up to the 7 perceptions that you're planning?
Yeah, there's other aspects that we didn't cover just because of time and everything, and so we're going to revisit the 7 perceptions. If you didn't do that, we can. I mean, it's a free class, so you know, the retreat was, so you can access it and do it without it being live. But it's just taking those 7 perceptions and going a little bit deeper. I mean, I could probably do 4 or 5 classes just on those 7 perceptions. And so I thought, well, maybe we'll just kind of keep it going as a ongoing add to the small weekend. So
I started it this afternoon and conked out. I don't know
yeah,
if it was
it's
the class from the
intense.
weekend or the heat and humidity or the.
Yeah, boy, Boston was hot. I don't remember Boston being that hot.
Not June.
And not like what was it, mid-90s? Yeah. I think when we left here it was kind of cold when we got there, and it was like, boy, it's like a sweat lodge.
And for those of you who didn't know, on June 19th, which is not this weekend, but the following weekend, just the one day Saturday, Greg's doing a one-day class, a deeper working with those 7 perceptions we did in the spa retreat.
Yeah, so it's a free class. And Carol, is Carol still on? Carol Radic?
Yes, I am. Hello.
Hey, so that pattern is the pattern that I was talking about. How did that feel when you did the pattern with the arms and the legs and all that? I'm just curious.
Yeah, it felt really good. I
Yeah.
just all stress went.
Yeah, keep doing that one, especially just over and over again.
I will, and I'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
Thank you.
When we were evaluating it, remember that one time a while back? That's pretty much what I did to you.
Okay.
Was just went through and did that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you did a brilliant job, though. There isn't anything left, Greg, so I'll wait for
good.
it.
Good.
Thank you.
That's an amazing pattern. I was going through notes from the lymphatic section of the class for next weekend and doing it with Basil, and I just was so chill afterwards. It was wonderful.
Yeah, isn't it nice? Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Please give us a list of the oils to have for the 7 perceptions.
Yeah, we're going to. Like I just haven't had time. I had to do a bunch of meetings today, so I'm trying to stay ahead of the curve, but I fell a little bit behind. So we will get that to you here, like in the next day or two. Yeah, should be things that are available to most of you.
I'm just kind of checking. If I forgot any of your questions, go ahead and type in, but I'm going back to the questions here too. Oh, no, we're good.
Okay. Well, let's end it with maybe one more pattern with the chakra root cleanser thing. Let's do. How about this? We'll end it with a Lord's Prayer pattern, chakra root cleanser, or whatever substitute you are using. Just go through and blast out everything.
And people were needing probably a couple substitutes. Are those B choices, C choices?
Yeah, I mean, it's much better to use the blend, but if you don't, I mean, it still does something. So mugwort, Palo Santo, hyssop would be your best choices. Okay. So begin inhaling. Your awareness is on your crown. Move your awareness to the forehead and back head. Move your awareness to the area between your eyebrows and your throat. Your heart, the center of your chest. The solar plexus, the area below your ribs. Your navel. Over to your spleen. On the left-hand side below the ribs. The low back, opposite your navel on the back side. The sex chakra. The bottom of your tailbone. Just let go for a moment. Keep your eyes closed, just let go. Your awareness is on the bottom of the tailbone. Take a few more deep breaths. Move your awareness to the spleen on the left-hand side below the ribs. To the Ming Men, which is on the back side of the navel on your spine. And the top of your head. Just be still, be aware, just let go. Begin inhaling again. Your awareness is on the crown. Move your awareness to the forehead and the back head at the same time. The forehead is where the hairline is. The back head is opposite your eyebrows. Move your awareness between the eyebrows and the throat. Move your awareness to the heart. To the solar. The navel. The spleen on the left-hand side below the ribs. The Ming, which is opposite the navel on the spine. Opposite your navel on the low spine. The sex chakra, where the sex organs are. The bottom of your tailbone, the basic chakra. Let go for a moment. Begin inhaling again. Your awareness is still on the tailbone, the bottom of the tailbone. Up to the spleen on the left-hand side below the ribs. Back to the low back area. And the top of your head, the crown. Just let go. Just be still, be aware, and let go. How do you feel? Just kind of relaxed and a little bit expanded. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. And we're gonna kind of keep up doing some different things on the Tuesday night, but always answering your questions. That's always going to be a part of Tuesday, so anything goes. We're going to try to keep doing education on Tuesday that augments the things you've already been doing. So, okay, so thanks for joining us, and some of you I'll see tomorrow night and some the weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Love you guys. Take care.
Love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Love you both. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.